I'm Janine from Lady Marmalaide Port Elizabeth, and today we're going to show you how to tie a tie-back dress. The first thing a bride has to do is to make sure that the dress is positioned correctly in the front. So she's going to bend forward and she's literally going to make sure that her bust is in the right spot. You don't want to do this afterwards. So then what you do, you take the two ends and you make sure that they are fairly even. And it really is like tying a shoelace. You start off by putting the shoelace from the bottom of the loop in, and you make sure that it is always nice and straight. That's the only trick. So you keep on lacing, making sure that every time that is flat. As you can see there, it's twisted, so I just straighten it. You're not trying to make it too tight at this point. You're only trying to do it neatly. So we continue straightening as we go along. Now when you're about halfway probably, you can start to tighten a little bit just to make sure that everything's looking right. And you can even clip in the little button that you probably have on the inside of your gown. There we go. Making sure it's all straight. And of course a tie-back gown is really good for cinching in that waist, or even making sure that if you lose just a centimetre, you can still pull in as tight as you want. Ideally, you want to create a nice V at the back. So you'll see we start getting towards the end. It does create a very nice picture at the back when you have a tie-back gown. Just straighten. When you start getting to the end is when you really do need to start tightening a bit more, making sure that that panel is always flat and smooth. And you can pull in as far as the bride is comfortable. Nice and tight, making sure that V shows nicely. Now, when you get to the last two, what you would like to do is to create a nice finish. So, I normally recommend that you make a bow fairly long. And that you take that bow and actually never make a double bow, but that you actually push it into the gown. And that way it's really nice and smooth at the back, and you still have your beautiful effect of the tie-back gown. And then, as a last precaution, you always just make sure that you smooth the back out. No matter how thin you are, you want to make sure that the back is nice and smooth. And that is how we do a tie-back gown at Lady Marmalaide.